Hi Flosstube, this is Sandy with Goofy Mama Stitches. This is my Flosstube. We're on episode 33. I had to look at my notes. So welcome back to my channel, cross stitch channel about finishing, cross stitching. I have shown diamond art in the past, but I just do that every once in a while when I'm bored. But if you have cross stitch, why are you bored, right? Welcome anybody that's new, or just visiting, or just checking out the channel. Welcome. Hope you like what you see. I mean, I'm not everybody's cup of tea. That's okay. And if you're returning, thank you so much for coming back and just listening to my craziness. Today's Monday, August 25th. Tomorrow would be my mom and dad's, I don't know what year, anniversary. They've both passed on, but it would, well, it's still their anniversary, right? How have you guys been? It's just been crazy here. I think it's been about 3 weeks since my last video. So I'm kind of surprised I'm here. If you know my track record, usually I'm like 8 months down the road, 4 months. I've been trying to do better. So anyway, so I just have some whips today. I did do, I just finished an extra floss tube with all my FOs, all my finished objects, because, I mean, I had a stack, a big stack, and I think, because usually I would get done with, like a stitching project, and I would set it aside, start on a new one, but before I got, you know, too deep into this or whatever, I would fully finish them. Like I had mine, like just a couple that I hadn't fully finished. Actually, I have 1 or 2 upstairs in my closet because I hung them on those like kid pants hangers, you know, where you pinch the thing and it holds their pants. Anyway, but then we kind of remodeled the downstairs here, and so ever since then I didn't do any finishing or anything, so I think it all just kept piling up. But anyway, so we'll talk about, I think I have about 7 whips. I do have an FFO, but guess where it is? It's put up. And I was specifically setting it out so I could show you guys, because it's more of like a summer, and not that summer's over, but I was like putting it up. I don't know why, but I was putting it up. Oh, I think I was putting up all my like 4th of July and stuff like that. Put it away. And I went to get it out and I was like, oh, son of a biscuit. I already put it up. So, you know what? I'll show you at some point, and then I'm going to be like, remember way back when I said I'd show you? Well, here it is. But life has been good, just going swiftly by like it does. Which maybe you've heard me talk about in the past, my family and I, well, my sister and her husband own some property up in the mountains here, and they have sourdough days, and so we went up there, and my whole family went. Not like cousins and stuff like that, but like I have 3 older sisters, so all 3 of my sisters, their husband, well, the one didn't, but anyway, 2 of their husbands came, their kids, my niece's ex, which it sounds funny, but they're friends. So, and we still see him at my niece's party and stuff because they have a kid together. And so, we know them. They're just like family, you know. So anyway, so my niece's ex, him and his wife and their son, who is so stinking cute. Oh my heck, he's adorable. The first time we went camping with him, I said, Xander, can I have a hug? No. It'd go off. It was so funny. He's just a cutie. Anyway, so, and then my niece's ex has a daughter from like his first marriage, and she had a baby, and she brought the baby up, of course, and oh my heck, she's so cute. But my son, oh wow, he fell head over heels in love with that baby. And she kept fussing and fussing. She's like a month old, I think, and fussing and fussing and fussing. And we found out late, and they're like young, they're like 19, I think, her and, which is fine. I'm not saying anything, you know, that's young though. But I mean, anyway, it doesn't matter how old, but anyway. And so a couple of funny things. So she was saying, we were talking to her boyfriend, which was the baby's dad, and I don't know how we got talking about it, and he goes, I think that baby doesn't like me. We were laughing. We're like, yes, she does. She does love you. And anyway, and so we were talking about like how, like, if you're breastfeeding, then you have to be careful of what you eat because the baby drinks it. You know what I mean? And so we were telling him, like, not for her, she probably shouldn't have, like, we all weren't ganging up on him, nothing like that, but we were all saying, like, maybe if she has anything like hot or spicy or more spicy, you know, stuff like that. And he goes, well, she does eat hot Cheetos all the time. And I said, and so we were all just like, oh, maybe she shouldn't have that while she's breastfeeding. And anyway, he goes, oh, I'm cutting her off, because he was like, that baby fusses all the time. And anyway, we just kind of chuckled, but she kept crying and crying. And then my son took her, and he was just holding her, and I'll put a picture here. But oh my heck, he just got her right to sleep, and just, she was out, like, and he just loved holding her. And then on the last day, we were getting ready to, you know, we woke up and sat around and just kind of had like muffins and bagels and stuff like that for breakfast, because we were getting ready to leave. And my son was like, well, I want to hold her. And anyway, he just got her to sleep again, and she slept for the longest time. And the baby's mom and dad was like taking their tent down, and they were just getting everything done before, you know, not that we all couldn't help too, but he was just loving life. So that was fun. We had a lot of fun. I didn't see any moose or deer this time, so I was kind of bummed about that. But that was a fun camping trip, and it was really fun because that was the first time that all four of us girls, my three older sisters and I, our kids, their husbands, 2 out of the 4, because I'm not married, and then my oldest sister, her husband didn't come, so, and her son didn't come, so I made her tent with me. I said, you got to come in with me then, because I have a 12-man tent, and I'm in there by myself, because my son took his like 3-man tent, and him and his cousin slept in that, so they don't want to be with grown-ups anyway. So it was just fun. It was fun. We had a lot of fun. I didn't take a ton of pictures, but I'll put a few up here, wherever, and you can see, but we had a good time. The other crazy thing, like, I'm looking out my living room window, and it faces a mountain. And if you know, like, Utah, like northern Utah, it's the Ben Lomond Mountain, which actually was in the Paramount Pictures mountain, like years and years and years and years ago. My son told me that, and I was like, You know, the start of the movie, how they have, like, the mountain. That used to be the mountain years and years ago. But anyway, I got home from work, and I didn't think about it. I didn't charge my phone, so it was only like on 30 or 40%. Well, I come home. Oh, the power's out. There's a fire on the mountain, like right there. And you could smell it in the air and everything. And they were kind of starting to evacuate a few homes. And I was like, holy cow. But anyway, so we're all safe. That's all contained and done. But they said, I think that was a Wednesday, because my son left for another camping trip from Wednesday until Saturday. And so I was thinking, well, I can't cook anything. And I was thinking, well, maybe I'll have cereal. But then I didn't want to open the fridge door because they were saying, and this happened like at what, 2:30, 2 o'clock, 2:30? And I think what had happened was a car had started on fire, and then it blew one of the transformers. And so they shut off like a whole bunch of houses, like the whole city. And even driving on the way home, it was like 2 or 3 lights I had to go through that they shut the power. So that was fun. And then I was like, how in the world am I going to charge my phone? Because I was like, you got to have a plan, Sandy. You got to have a plan. Anyway, so I went out to my car and I took my stitching and I just started the car, plugged in my phone, and just stitched away for a little bit. And I thought, and that charger is not a fast charger. I think I'm going to buy a fast charger for my car. That's not a fast charger. And I was like, okay, I'm going to be here until like midnight, and it probably won't even be charged all the way. But I was like, whatever. Anyway, and then my sister lives like 2 blocks south of me. So I was like, do you have your power? And she said, yeah. And I said, okay, I'm coming over. So I got to charge my phone because I would never wake up for work the next day. And I was like, I need my phone charged. Anyway, so that's just been a little bit of what's going on. And school started. My son is a senior. So I'm like, oh, sad, happy tears. I'm excited for him, but he wants to do mechanical engineering, so he's got a lot more school to do. But I'm excited for him, kind of some sad tears for me, but that's okay. Anyway, so I will get started. That's probably, you're like, okay, quit talking. So like I said, I have about 7 whips. So I'll go through them and we can talk about those. This one I started, not this past April, but the April before, when I went to Stitch West, their very first like spring retreat. And I just fell in love with this. So I got all the stuff beforehand because I know how Shepherd's Bush gets. They get really, really busy. But this is by Bruecken Designs, and it's Woneta, Witchypoo's big sister. And it's a bad print, so sorry about that. My printer was having issues. But I just fell in love with this, and I was like, oh my God, she's so stinking cute. And if you'll see her nose, so I might just find a button or something that I can put on for her nose. But anyway, so I started it at that retreat, and all I got was like this bottom, like it looks like grass that she's standing on. And then I got the candy corn. And so I was like, oh. And I think I was watching a Flosstube. That's what was funny. I was watching a Flosstube, and they were doing something Halloween. And all of a sudden in my mind, I was like, I had a stitch on something Halloween. But, so I was like, okay, that's perfect. So I picked that up, and I hadn't worked on it, I swear, for like ever. And so I thought, okay, fine. So I'm doing all the called for colors that she has, and it's on a green even weave, and it's called Pickled. And that's what I have so far. But oh my heck, so stinking adorable. That's all I've got so far. So that broom and her little witchy legs, oh, so cute. So, so cute. And this is some really good green variegated fabric. I'm not sure who, oh, Picture This Plus, Pickled. So Picture This Plus Lugana, Pickled is the name. And I just think it's adorable. So stinking cute. So I can't wait to work on that. I've been, and I was on, it was funny because like I said, I only had the grass done, and then I had the candy corn done, and I had started on the boots. And so I've done everything else. So once I started, like, I backstitched the candy corn, I stitched the words, I started the yellow buckles, I think. Anyway, as soon as I started getting like more colors, I was so excited, and I thought, should have done that all along. But so that's been fun to stitch on. And I found my needle minder that I bought. So stinking cute, little legs, witchy legs. So I'm excited to work on that. So maybe next time I'll have more progress with that. I have noticed I've been stitching a lot more. Well, yeah, I think. I'm like, yeah, I think more fallish pieces. And this one I don't think I'm going to take out of the hoop, so I'm so sorry. And you guys are going to laugh, but that's okay. You're still my friends, right? This one is the Autumn Quaker by Primrose Cottage. So I'm just barely getting to it. I did buy the colors. It calls for pumpkin pie, color and cotton, but I didn't have that. So I bought a couple skeins of autumn leaves. And I can't remember if it's by Gast or if it's by Classic Colorworks. I want to say Classic Colorworks, but I'm not sure. I think it is. Anyway, and so I just never did it. That was back in 23. Anyway, and then I think my last floss tube, I was telling you about this floss tuber that I just happened to find. Her name is Katie, Jeremiah's mom, and she does her floss tubes every Monday, and she has some really fun pieces that she does. And I know I mentioned her last time, but this time I'm going to put her link down below because I spaced last time. No pictures, no links, no nothing. And I was like, oh, I'm a space. But anyway, she's doing she's doing all her Quakers, all of Primrose Cottage Quakers, with DMC thread. And so I fell in love with it, and I was going to put a picture, and then I was like, no. I thought, no, you guys can go look, because I don't want to take anything from her, but she does. Oh my gosh. The threads she picks out. This one I'm doing in DMC 111. 111, and I just think that is so pretty. And so I started that. I think I was either my last floss tube, either I told you I was going to do it or I had barely started. I want to say I had barely started it, but this is where I am now. And I'm absolutely loving this variegation. You can see this is where I'm working on right now. But it's been fun because like I'll be going along and like over here I was like, if it's too much like dark, then I'll stop the thread and I'll get the lighter part of the thread. You know what I mean? So there's more variegation. This by the way is a round hoop. That's how tight I pull my, can you hear it? It's like a drum. That's how tight I pull my, and I've never had any issues or anything with thread or like the material, nothing like that. I've never had any issues, but that's how tight. And these cool plastic hoops that I get, they just go back to round when I'm done. They just go back to their round shape. But anyway, I'm loving how this is turning out. And this is a 28 count. And I want to say that I used the chai tea. And I'm not sure who the maker is, but I'm loving that variegation. So I decided to use the DMC 111. This is how I keep my floss. If I'm using this, like whatever color I'm using, I put my scissors in with it. That's just how it works for me. But that's been super fun to work on and get that going. So hopefully next time I'll have more progress on that too. This one is this is the Stitching Rules by Primrose Cottage. And I'm almost done with it. I'm so excited. But I ran out of thread. So I'm waiting to get more thread. But if by chance, if you haven't seen it, that's what it looks like. Stitching Rules. And I know exactly where I'm going to put it and what I'm going to do with it. So I'm just waiting. I'm just waiting to get it done. Waiting for my floss so I can finish it. And when I bought this, hold on one second. My mouth is getting dry. When I bought this, I was gonna do all the stuff that they had with it. So I have like a ton of extra, which you probably saw last time. I have a ton of extra material, but this is exactly what they, the material they called for, the 28 count light ash gray, and they used color and cotton for theirs. And so I used something different because I didn't have any color and cotton. And what I used was Really Tealy, and then Pecan, Ocean, Ripe Melon, Bean Sprout, Tin Bucket, and there's a Gold Leaf is what Terry put, but I wanted something brighter, so I used squash, and then whitewash and red ribbon, and then, excuse me, DMC 469. So if by chance you want that, let me know, but I just changed mine because I didn't have color and cotton. And I'm just taking off my cute little ribbit needle minder. But this is how far I am. I'm almost finished. So that is squash. And then those, like the top of the spools, that's the pecan. And I didn't want that. I don't know. I just didn't. I just wanted something brighter. So, you've probably seen these all over, but I am on the very last one. Well, not, this is the second to the last. All I have to do is fill in that green, and then I think what I'm going to do is unpick this green and put in that light green right there, because to me, you can't even see, like, you can't see the black floss holder thingies. You can't even see them, and it's just too dark of a green. So I think I'm gonna put that light green in instead. So once I finish that and then unpick that and do that, then I'm moving on to the very last one. Which is just keep stitching. So I'm so excited. So, and this is really, it kind of goes by fast, I think. But this is what I have so far, like stitching wise. But look at all that material. I still have all of that. Oh, I don't know what I mean, I knew what I was thinking. I was like, well, I'll just get it all. So I think I got like what they had said, like it being a half yard, I believe, is what they said. So I got a half yard. But anyway, that's almost done, so that's exciting. And my niece a while ago, she got me, I can't remember where she got it, but she said, anyway, wherever she was like, I just saw this and I thought of you, so I grabbed it. But it's a metal thing. It's like a little metal design, and it almost looks like a hanger, because like it has the bottom like a wire hanger, you know, for your clothes, except for the top, and it's not, I mean the bottom, but it's not exactly shaped like a wire, like a hanger. Anyway, I'm probably making it worse than it is, but it has a little design on it and stuff. Anyway, and it has two little hooks on it. So with that, I heard, and tell me if you guys have heard this or have any thoughts on it, but I heard that you can spray, like, because this, where it's hung out in the kitchen, like year round, I put glass on it. Well, I didn't. I had it professionally framed. And did that, my washer's done. So I had that professionally framed, has the glass on it, but I heard you could spray your stuff with Scotch Guard. And I think Terry and Jamie from Cornhusker State Stitchers, I believe they have done it before. So if you want to find more out about it, I guess you could go ask them. But I haven't done it or anything yet. So I thought about doing that, but I was going to back it with that white stuff. It's not batting, but it's the transparent something. I don't know what it's called. I can't think all of a sudden. And I bought some. I have it. I just haven't used it. So I was going to back that and then put some batting on it, and then put maybe 1 or 2 different colors, materials, and then leave some hoops or something and stick it on there. But I was kind of thinking of doing the same thing with their rules, because I'm in the middle of doing the hive rules. I'm in the middle of 4th of July rules, North Pole rules. Well, it's not really a rules, but similar type thing. And so I thought, that would be so cute to set it there. And it's in my bedroom, but when it gets all done, I'll take a picture and show you. But that was my thought for that one. So I was like, oh, and I have to tell you guys really quick. So I about died. So the other night I was on my bed, because I stitch on my bed or on the couch a lot. I don't have like a, I don't know, a specific chair or something like that. I can stitch wherever I am. But I was stitching on my bed, and I had my needle free of any floss because I was getting ready to change a color. So I set it on my magnet thing that I have, and then my cat came over. So you can imagine where this is going. So my cat comes over, and then he was trying to get something, and anyway, he was probably trying to get my thread or something. So I played with him for a minute. Then I couldn't find my needle, and I thought, this is bizarre. I looked everywhere. I like patting myself down, like, did it fall on my stomach? I'm like, where did this go? And I was looking everywhere. And I looked all over my bed. I flipped my sheets. I looked everywhere. And then a thought came to my mind, check your cat. And I was like, he didn't eat it. I know he didn't, because I watched him and he was playing with my thread. And I'm always careful with that too. If I let him do it, like bite it twice and that's it. Because if they swallow thread, it can get around their innards and cause all kinds of havoc. So I never let him play with it really, besides that. And then I put it away. Anyway, I had felt under his belly, and I was like, what is that? Oh, it was the needle. And I was like, oh, snap. Like, it was in his fur, and he's a long-haired cat. And I was like, ooh. I said, oh, no. So I hurried and grabbed it, and I was like, I was so relieved. Anyway, that's just a little tidbit story for you. Okay, so the next one I will get on. This is A Stitch a Day by Jordan Nicole. And this is a stitch a day keeps the crazy away. Oh, hold on. Okay, so sorry. My battery said low battery. I was like, hold on. What are you doing? We're going to come say hi? So anyway, this is stitched on all the colors. Okay, move. She loves to play in my fan. This is stitched on 14 count black Ada, and this is what I have so far. And hi baby. This is what I have so far. I'm working on getting those X's in there, and then sorry, you're gonna have to move, baby. She likes to like put her head against mine, huh? But I love all these colors. Are they not so fun? Ash, you gotta move, baby. Sorry. You gotta sit. You sit. And these are the ones with Weeks Dye Works, and they're so colorful. Oh my heck, I love them. They're so bright. So I think I worked on this. I worked on all the flowers since I last showed you this. I don't think it'll take long to do it. It's just that word stitch and then crazy is the two that are like, you know what I mean? Like the, what am I trying to say? The most stitch heavy. That's what I mean. Because this, you know, those are pretty easy. That it'll go by quick. I say that now, and then I'll still be working on it. And so that's been fun. Okay, I have 3 more. So this one I showed you is almost finished. I'll be so excited when it's done. And this one is the Scarlett house, American Farmhouse. So hopefully there's no glare. So I'm not doing the alphabet, I'm just doing the grass. So I just think it's so stinking cute, and I was kind of thinking about getting it framed and putting it here. So like scooting that one over a little bit and then putting it here. I'm not sure yet. Oh, so I did. I was thinking of what I could put behind it. Maybe I don't need anything. It's all so wrinkly, so sorry about that. Since the last time I saw you, I finished the house, the roof, and then I finished that one line going down. Well, a couple of lines probably. Going down there, so I have the barn all the way done, and then I just outlined that grass. So that's all I have to do is just finish that grass. Ash, you gotta move, baby. So I'm so excited. So my grass is dangling. Oh my gosh, cat. Woo. I'm sorry. Like you wanted to see her butt. Listen, Linda, you gotta move. So I'm excited. It's almost done. Just the grass I have to do, and then that one will be finished. Yay, Ash! It's getting done. Yay! She wants some lovin's. Like she'll be okay for a long time, and then she crawls up and wants attention. And she's funny because if I like, she's kneading my back. If I hold her like this for a while, then she gets down and she's fine. She's the funniest cat. Okay, this one I haven't worked on, I don't think, in a long time. But this one is the Puntini, and it's here. You go over there for a second. This is the Welcome Autumn. If you can see that. If you can see that, good. I'm not stitching that white border on the top. But I think it's super cute, and I'm almost done, so I just need to get busy, right? Just get busy. I will hold you in a minute if you'll be patient. She's like, yeah, right. I'm not being patient. So, and this one, so I picked it up and I have no idea what happened because I'm not sure what happened because I know when I worked on it before, like I had all the floss. So maybe I stole from it for another kit. I don't know, because I can't find it. So, and this was just, it's just a 28 count, like cream colored Lugana. And so I have all of this done. I think I have all the house. I just need to, I stitched this, and then I outlined the house, the roof, and then I started on the fence, but I ran out of this color, so I was like, so I think I just have to do the tree, finish this, but anyway, sorry, there's my thread in there for the house, or the roof. There we go. But I love the tree. I love all the leaves and everything. So I really want to try and get this done this year for fall. So I'm going to keep this out and work on it. I'm going to keep that one I just showed you, the American Farmhouse, and finish that grass. So I'm going to finish that. So I'm going to keep those out. I'm so sorry. Holy cow. So hopefully those will get done soon. And I have just one more whip that I picked up. Well, and I've been, really, come on. I've been in the mood for fall. And so, which I'm sure a lot of people are getting to, but, I just thought, I'll do some fall stitching. So that's what I've been picking up. All right, and the last piece is a little Stitch Girl, Jordan Nicole, I think. And I haven't worked on this one for a long time either. Let's see. Yep, Jordan Nicole. She's a little Stitch Girl. But this is Autumn Avenue. And the print is kind of, it's kind of hard to see real clear. But look at that cute scarecrow, isn't he cute? And then these have, I don't know if you can see, they have like Lazy Daisies, I think they're called. They're not my favorite. I'm not gonna lie. They're not my favorite. And then I'm actively working on this one today, or else I'll take it out of the hoop. But this is what I have so far. And that is just the first house. I've got those. There's some leaves, wind. And I did change up the colors some. And this orange is it's kind of a fun color. It's Gentle Arts Fragrant Cloves. Isn't that pretty? I don't know. I think it's a pretty autumn color. And then I'm going to do the, sorry, Gassed Green with Envy. Let me see if I can find that super quick. And this is going to be my last house, if you can see that. Gassed Green with Envy. So that's how I do my floss drops. That's how I do my floss. Oh my heck. And I like it just because sometimes you only work with one thread for back stitching or French knots or whatever, or little words or stuff like that. And I hate trying to put them back on this thing, and then it always tears and rips. So it drives me nuts. So I use the Floss Away bags, but then I started using just snack bags from Walmart. And I still put the white in the baggie, and then I'll tape what it is to it so that I know. And I love it. But this is a 32 count Belfast linen. And then I just keep my floss in these little clear zipper pouches. And then my scissors, and this is a 32 count also, a 32 count Belfast linen. So that's how I do my floss. And then while I'm working on it, I'll put like this one this way in the front, and then I know that's the one I'm working on. Just in case you wanted to know. But I outlined the house part, so I'm going to be working on that today, and then I'm going to outline the roof, which I think is only like this tall. Like, it's more like this roof. Well, anyway. Oh, that's what the roof looks like, that middle one. So, not very much. So it's almost done. Well, not the whole thing done, but I mean, I still have a whole other house. And so I really want to do the roof today and fill in the house. And I have to, like, once that's done, of course, I have to move my hoop over because I have a little bit more to do here with the wind. And I think that is chalk, I believe. What the matter? It's, yeah, Gentle Art chalk is what that is being used for. So sorry I didn't get that one out of the hoop, because I'm gonna work on it probably while this is uploading. I do have to put my towels that are in the washer in the dryer, start some darks. I think that's it. So I did, she's sitting, okay, you gotta move, sister. She's sitting on my notes. Oh. Now the other one wants up. I've got my cord I'm trying to lift up so they don't get all over. I did want to mention some floss tubers that I found. And they're not new. They're just ones that I found. And I think I've mentioned a couple of them before. So last week I mentioned, like I mentioned, Katie, Jeremiah's mom. She's the one that does all the Quakers that are just gorgeous. Anyway, she has tons of really cool projects, and I'm excited for her to get them done. No, no, no. You're not going to step on that. Then they want to walk all over your projects. So, anyway, but I forgot to link her below. So that's what I was just going to mention, was just that I will link her below so that, you know, if you guys, I recommend checking her out. She's got a lot of really cute projects, and she does a lot of like stitch alongs or different just different like little, I don't know what you call them, games maybe. I don't know if that's the right word I want, but it's kind of fun. Stitch along stuff like that. I did find Haley, her name's Haley with Brigham House Stitcher. She's been really fun. She has a lot of fun projects too. I think all of the ones that I'm mentioning, they have just really fun projects, and I'm over here thinking, okay, I gotta write that one down. Ooh, that one looks good. I gotta do that one too. So just part of my enabling. She's got some fun things. She's fun to watch. I'm kind of going back and like binge watching some of these from like the beginning. Because they're just so fun to watch. And then MelyEllyStitches, her name's Melanie, and she kind of started designing some stuff lately, and super cute. She's got this, if you've never seen her, she designed this like really big pumpkin, and then it's got sunflowers, almost like it's protecting the pumpkin. It's just really pretty. And then today I was watching her latest one, and she designed another one with the beach theme, and there's this little crab. Anyway, it's super cute, and she's just seems, I mean, I don't know any of these guys in person, but they all seem super sweet. ShineSparkleStitch with Anita and Holly, and they've been doing more regular. I'm so excited, more regular videos. They did like for a while there, it was only like, it was just sporadic, like, which, you know, I mean, everybody gets so busy, so that's normal. And lately they've been more like consistent, more often, and I'm like, yeah. Now I can watch them all the time. But they're fun. And then two more, Kate B. Stitching, and she does really fun stuff. It was funny because I met her just this past April, a few months ago, at the Spring Stitch West retreat. And it was funny because while I was getting ready that Friday morning, and it was held just downtown Ogden, and I live about, what, 7-10 minutes from Shepherd's Bush, just north. And so I thought, I have to go to this retreat, right? I have to go because it's just right there. And I love Shepherd's Bush, and the first one last year was with Primrose, so I'm like, I have to go. And so it was funny. She said that she was going in her floss tube, and she made one that morning, and she said, she goes, probably nobody will watch this before Stitch West. And so when I saw her at Stitch West, I said, oh, hey, I watched your floss tube this morning. So I had to chuckle because I was like, yeah, I did watch it. And we just kind of laughed and talked for a second, but she's really nice. And then the last one I found is, I think she's in California, Pacific Coast Stitcher. If you guys have seen her, her name's Rachel. She does some really cool stuff. I think she just got married not too long ago, and her husband helps her with all the technical and stuff, and she's just so cute. They're all just so cute. And that's just some of my favorites and what I found lately. So, like Brigham House Stitcher, I think she's the newest one that I found. So I want to say she's on like Flosstube 21, maybe, or 22, something like that. So I'm like, I got to go back and watch from the beginning. So I think I'm on like episode 2. So I always go back, like whoever I find and I really enjoy watching them, I'll go back and like not binge watch the whole thing. You know what I mean? But I watch a few, watch somebody else's, do whatever, go back, watch a few more. So I'm always like kind of, so I can get them all in, I should say. Anyway, we're about 55 minutes, so I've talked long today. So you guys are probably like, okay, goodbye. So thank you so much, you guys, really, for hanging out with me today for a couple of floss tubes, for just liking, subscribing, like I said. If you like what you see and you want to come back and visit, do all the things. But if you don't, I'm cool with that too. I think it's fun to just get on here and share what I've been doing. And I always say like I'm obsessive. I say it in a joking way because I don't think I need to be committed for it, for my stitching. Although some days I wonder. But I just love to stitch. It truly like calms my nerves. And like the last couple of days or week-ish, I feel more, and I don't know why, but I feel more like anxious, and I'm just more like uptight and anxious, and my poor son is getting all the brunt of it. And I was laying with him last night in his bed, and I was on the outside of the covers, obviously, because I get too hot. And I was just laying there for a few minutes, and we were just chatting for a minute. And then I said, I'm sorry, I was so ornery today. And I said, and this weekend, I said, I'm sorry. I said, I just think it's my hormones out of whack and just being anxious and all that. And him in his usual manner, it's okay, Mom. And then he'll go into joking and be like, I'm okay. I'm all right. It's just, he's funny. He likes to tease me. But anyway, so it just relaxes and calms me. And I'm going to change my laundry out, sweep the kitchen floor and get mopping it. And I did this first because this is more important. Just kidding. But I'm glad you guys stopped by. Thank you so much for joining me and hitting like and subscribe, all the stuff. I will insert the pictures because I'm going to have my son help me to make sure I do it right. And then I'll link the floss tubes down below so I can get those in right. And then I hope you guys have a great week. Today's Monday, so whenever you watch it, or get to it, if you watch it, enjoy your week, enjoy your stitchy time, and hope you guys are doing well, and we will visit the next time. See you guys.